everyone, welcome back. It's December 11th, and here we are, your Raiders Thrive team, your support team here at STA. I'm Ms.R, and these are my guests.
Hello.
Mr. A
Hello.
and so we are back to, just be with you as we get through this thing. So as we begin every week, we are going to do a check-in. So how are you guys? How's the past week been?
You know what? The past week for me has been great. We're looking at one more week until the holidays, which has me super excited.
Me too. I'm super excited. I feel like I've been very productive this week. And it's 1 week down and I can't wait.
Yeah, it's been a good week. It is, busy, good busy.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny, these times I'm stretching myself and learning new skills and doing a lot of filming and recording and post editing, and it's all good. And
Very much so.
Like Mr. A, I'm super excited for the 2 weeks off. It'll be nice. It'll be different, but it'll still be nice. So today we're going to talk to you, instead of focusing on stress and being overwhelmed and how to take care of yourself, because we've done a lot of videos on that. We thought today we'd focus on something a lot more positive, like our Christmas traditions. Now, we know that Christmas is going to be different, and maybe some traditions we can't actually follow through on, but there are some traditions we still can follow through on, or maybe we start some new traditions.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about traditions. So I'm going to throw it out to my friends to start the conversation. What are some traditions that you are looking forward to, that you do every year, or that have come from your childhood, or new ones, whatever? I open it up. Share.
Well, I guess I could start off. I think a consistent tradition for my family is, always meeting up at my uncle's house in Ottawa. So Christmas is always a time of travel. For me, I always kind of, taking that 4-hour drive. Some years it's snowing while I make that drive, but it's always, I think this year we're blessed because we're getting out a little before. Usually when Christmas extends, like the holiday starts later, I always find that it's snowing while I make that drive. So that's a tradition, just always meeting up and connecting with family in Ottawa.
For us, I mean, we don't really do much traveling. I particularly usually do because my family doesn't live in Ontario. So my family lives in Manitoba, and I try to, every other Christmas, I try to go spend it with my mom and my dad and my grandma, my sisters and brothers and stuff. But this year, obviously, I can't. So I'm going to be staying home. And this year is actually going to be the first time where there was 2 years back to back that I don't get to go see my family, which is okay because I understand that it kind of is what it is. But I still have my own little traditions that we do at home. Like, for instance, every Christmas morning, while, the kids and everybody's waking up and brushing their teeth and getting ready to come downstairs and see what Santa brought for them, I go downstairs and I always do like egg sandwich omelets on croissants with some cheese, and I burn the Christmas candles, and I have the Yule log going on the TV. My husband says, "Oh, that's so cheesy," and I'm like, "But I love it." And the other day, my kids were talking about traditions in school, and they came home and they were telling me, like, in the morning we put the Christmas Yule log on the TV, and it's the fireplace, and then we have Christmas music in the background. Then we sit around the tree, and one by one we sit, and gift wrapping or unwrapping will take like an hour because we sit there and we watch every single person open their gift one by one, and we really just try to spread it out as long as we can because those moments are just so cherished, right? And we live in that moment. And I know my kids look forward to it. So that's one of the traditions that I actually started with my girls when I had my own kids.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Growing up, tradition was, well, I was in the choir with my mom for about 10 years. So we'd always sing at the Christmas Eve Mass. And then, of course, we'd sing again on Christmas morning. So going to Mass a lot over these holidays was a tradition. And then after Mass, we would come home and eat. And, but on Christmas, as I got older, my parents, really my mom, said, okay, only one present you can open on Christmas Eve. So we would come home at like, I don't know, Christmas Eve Mass was at sometimes 11 o'clock or 12. We'd come home, we'd stay up. My mom would bust out a liqueur and we'd toast and then open one gift. And then we'd always be, kids. Oh, come on. Can we open up more? Can we open up more?
One more.
But no, only one on Christmas Eve and the rest Christmas morning. And then we'd go to church and then we'd come home and then, we'd have the big meal at like 3 o'clock. My mom would prepare like a 3 or 4 course meal. It usually involved lasagna. And if it was extra special, chicken parmesan.
Ooh.
With, no, not really turkey usually, but boy, the lasagna was the main feature for us. Now that I'm married and it's just me and my husband and our lovely little dog, I go to Christmas Eve Mass, but it's usually earlier. Then I come home and I like to watch a Christmas movie or I just listen to Christmas music. My husband's not really into that, but sometimes he'll watch the movie with me. And then Christmas morning, we have breakfast together. And last year, we were supposed to host Christmas dinner. That's our tradition. We host Christmas dinner. But last year, plans just fell apart. We were supposed to host, and then my brother and his wife, their plans changed. So then we were just going to host our mothers. But then plans changed. So everyone was kind of on their own anyway, kind of like it's almost like it was foreshadowing what 2020 was going to be like.
Yeah.
So last year I had breakfast with my husband, then I went to my mom's for dinner, and it was just me and my mom Christmas Day.
That's nice.
So that's what's going to happen this year, because I know it's a little iffy, right? Because I'm working at school and I shouldn't really contaminate my mom, but I don't want my mom to be alone.
Yeah.
His mom, my mother-in-law, is going to be with my sister-in-law, so Kevin's sister, and Kevin will pop by over there. Kevin doesn't feel comfortable coming with me to my mom's because of, COVID and all that. And so it's going to be a second year tradition because what I ended up having last year is going to happen this year. And then my husband and I will do our Christmas dinner on Boxing Day. And yeah.
So what are your guys, because I know like where I'm from, everybody eats the same thing. And so I'm so intrigued when I hear, like, what are your traditional meals? Because mine sounds very different. Like we do turkey and homemade stuffing and mashed potatoes and meatballs with gravy and cabbage rolls and pierogies and coleslaw and dinner rolls and cranberry sauce. And that's what we do. That's just.
Can I come over for dinner?
Well, but to me, that's just the norm. So what are traditional foods that you guys would eat on Christmas?
To tell you the truth, at least from my side of the family, it's, I would say, intercontinental food that you'd find, just because I have a very, diverse family, I would say. So we try to have a bit of each. So there'll be some, traditional African or West African dishes, whether it be jollof rice, some soup, or pepper soup, very spicy soup. And then
that sounds so good.
Turkey, fish. I think really it's a lot of everything, and it's a great selection. And so usually, like say my aunt would cook, and then the food would last a couple of days, and then she'll cook again. So I'll usually spend about 5 days with my family. One of the amazing things this year is, I think that's the theme of the year, is my older sibling and his, my niece and stuff. I won't be able to see them just because they're in the States, and it's hard for them to come, and then he'll have to do the quarantine. So because of that, I'm not able to connect with him. But I'm sure many other of you guys listening, or even you guys, are having a similar situation in terms of being able to connect with family who are international. But it's all about finding different ways to connect. Because I still want to be, using the, FaceTime like this, sending presents away. So these are traditions you could still kind of maintain for the kids, and and continue to kind of have some level of connection. And also, I'm sure not everybody celebrates, Christmas as we are experiencing it right now, or talking about, but I think the holiday season gives a great opportunity just for you to kind of relax, rest, refill. It's been a very heavy year. So I'm hoping this could be a very intentional time where we do a lot of self-care And we also spend time and connect, even if it's with one person, if you have this little break, connect with the family member so that you could give that emotional side of you the things that it needs so that you're able to kind of continue to operate well.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, like I said, growing up, the traditional meals that we had, it was like my mom's homemade lasagna. So nothing store-bought. It would homemade, which was like, it's amazing. It melts in your mouth. The odd time we would do turkey. I remember one Thanksgiving. So we would, again, every time at Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, it would be the same thing, right? My mom's soup, then we'd go to pasta, whether it's lasagna or something, and then we'd go into, for Thanksgiving, we would do turkey. I remember the first year after my dad died. So my dad died in August. And so talking about Thanksgiving, we were thinking, let's change it up. Let's do barbecue. We love barbecue. And my mom put me in charge. I'm 20 years old. Put me in charge of the barbecue. I got distracted because my brothers were home and their girlfriends were there and they were downstairs watching TV. And so I check in the barbecue, run downstairs and be with them. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta go check the barbecue. Yeah, they laughed at me because everything was charred. Yeah, we didn't do barbecue again, or if we did, someone else took care of it. But now because I'm married to Kevin and he's from the UK, he's Scottish, he's a real meat and potatoes guy. So we've been having turkey and mashed potatoes usually. But because this year it's going to be him and I on Boxing Day, he wants to do roast beef. So, and we're going to do Yorkshire pudding.
Oh.
I'm not from the UK, but I love Yorkshire pudding. So I'm going to have, Kevin's going to take charge with it. I'm the sous chef on these big meals, right? Yeah. The main chef, I'm the sous chef. I do the chopping. I do the mashed potatoes because I love doing flavorful mashed potatoes. So that's his traditional meal that he's going to do for me. And then maybe another time, or I might do it over the holidays for New Year's Day, I want to do a traditional meal that I grew up. So I'm going to make homemade lasagna over the break.
Oh, that's nice.
And like just enjoy. And every time I have homemade lasagna like that, it's like I'm 10 years old again. I'm 8 years old, and I'm like, oh, I'm catapulted back to my past with the big meal and the big family around the table. Yeah. So I want to reiterate further what Mr. A was talking about, that even though we may not gather, one new tradition that my family and I are doing, we do virtual stuff. So Thanksgiving, this past Thanksgiving, my brother, when they were ready, he buzzed me through Teams. I turned it on, and there we're eating together. And because I'm going to be at my mom's on Christmas Day, I'm going to bring my laptop, and I'm going to use my phone as a hotspot and do the virtual connection with my brother. So my mom can see everyone and see the kids, and we can sort of talk. So it's about creating new traditions.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone, this sucks, but it doesn't mean that we can't find new ways to still be connected, maybe create some new traditions, find new ways of being connected. Mm-hmm. Some things that we find to do now, we can continue when this pandemic is over. Mm-hmm. Because inevitably we're going to have family members who are far away. Yeah. Well, now there are ways where we can still connect.
Yeah.
So I think one of the key things is just being intentional. If you're worried about how Christmas or the holidays is going to look for you, start planning it out now. Don't wait. Yes. Take initiative, because we are all, and I know parents are, busy juggling and all this stuff. Things are different now. So if you're listening, you're a young individual and you are able to help your parents, take initiative, plan something this year. I think we all have to be accountable when it comes to how we are going to celebrate this holiday season, because it's a challenge for each and every single one of us. So maybe you could be the planner this year. So that's something that is a challenge. And then hopefully we could kind of share our experiences when we come back from the holidays.
For sure.
So jumping on that one, Mr. A, let's share some ideas, because I just came up with an idea. So here's something you can do. If you want to do that extra oomph for your family, because maybe you can't gather and so you feel like the pandemic is sucking the life out of your Christmas, why not be like a little secret Santa in your family? Leave notes in secret places for every family member. Or
make them a coffee when they wake up in the morning.
Yeah, maybe get up extra early and do something special. See, it's that sort of selflessness that our faith talks about. So maybe instead of sleeping in, you wake up early, you know how mom or dad take their coffee or tea or, a hot chocolate, your siblings, maybe, do something extra special for them. So when they wake up, there it is.
Yeah.
Doing things like that, leaving little notes, making their coffee, or plan a family Christmas movie night. Get some popcorn, or make some extra treats.
I realized I made a list of 37 things that we could do over the holidays to make it fun, and to take away from the unfortunate situation that we're in. And one of them is teach your parents how to do a TikTok. Teach them how to play a video game. Make dinner as a family, do holiday card. Like there's so many things that we can do.
Yeah. Or one idea from your list, Crystal, was have a bake-off with other members of your family.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, maybe you want to do shortbread cookies or chocolate chip cookies or something. You do your recipe. A family, maybe your sibling, your mom, dad, they do another recipe, and then have other family members be the judges and say, and create fun little events like that.
Yeah. I totally agree.
So there's lots of, yes, this pandemic sucks. No one's disagreeing with you, but we could find ways to create new events, kind of give us that excited feeling of doing new things. And this could be the start of new traditions that carry on well when this pandemic is over.
I'm going to send you this list, and then maybe you can post it and people can look at it. What I'm going to do is, because I have a copy of it, I'm actually going to take this list of things home with me for the holidays, and I'm going to make a conscious effort to do some of these things with my kids. Now, one of them says go tobogganing. If we get snow, I'll take my kids tobogganing, or build a snowman. But I want to be intentional in what I do, because yes, it is unfortunate what we're dealing with right now, but there's still things that I can do, right, to make it fun. So I will send you that list, and maybe you can post it for just some ideas.
And here's another idea. If you guys are tired of being inside, I don't know if many of you venture off to Burlington, and I know Burlington's not the only city who does this, but they have a festival of lights by Lakeshore. It's by Spencer Smith Park, although I don't know if it's called that anymore. And it's beautiful. They have all these displays of lights and dragon and the nativity set. They have the Eiffel Tower there. Maybe do a family outing, or maybe with friends, right? Because you're outside, so it's easy to be distant. You dress warm, maybe bring hot chocolate in a thermos, and just wander and have a nice little winter Christmassy outing with your hot chocolate and marvel at all the lights.
I think there's also an area in Burlington where they've kind of mimicked what that neighborhood in Toronto was doing, where they all have those big gigantic snowmen, Santa Claus or something like that. And you just drive in the area, and all these houses have these gigantic Santa Claus in their lawns.
And I'm sure if you Google it, you'll be able to find the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ideas to create new traditions. And so that's hopefully we've given you some ideas to kind of counter the regular kind of overwhelming thing of life, to give us that excited feeling of doing stuff together or doing new things.
Yes.
So, and feel free to reach out to any one of us if you need support. We're here. We're available through email and Teams. We're here. So if you need an extra boost, a pep talk, cheerleaders in your corner to help you get through a moment, Mr. A, Crystal, and I are here for you.
Yes.
And so next week will be our last video before the break. We'll resume these in January. And next week we'll talk about how to stay safe over the holidays, because that is still important.
Yes.
All right. So Christmas traditions was our topic this week, and hopefully it's helped. Yes. Take care, everyone. I bid you farewell. See you next week.